All right, welcome back. So I got the Bandit models Diamondback on the CG machine. You do have to add the extension to the nose, and I kind of laid everything in there as it needed to be. I got the wing bolts in just for weight because they're kind of beefy, and then put the equipment board in, laid everything kind of where it was going to be, and took my measurements. And without the UAT full, typically you'll put UAT weight, fuel in because it stays in there the entire time you're flying, and then you CG it with gear down. I have started adding landing fuel because what you'll see with jets a lot of times, especially scale, they'll end up still being tail heavy. So to get away with adding more weight to the nose, you essentially fill your UAT and then put what you're planning to land with, because you're never going to be bone dry when you land. So I usually put just under a quarter of a tank in it, or not even a quarter of a tank, just enough, to where you start probably an inch of fuel in the tank, or if that, depending on how big it is. But just a little fuel, which would essentially be in there when you are landing anyways. That way it's less weight that you would have to put in the nose if need be. So that being said, let me show you here. Select it. So what I'm showing now with these measurements is about a little over half a pound that I would have to add to the nose. And granted, I don't have that piece on, but when I put it on, it was still, like a third of a pound, or a quarter pound. But that being said, I do have the batteries up here in the nose cone, which is kind of a cool deal. I was hoping I could use that area. So I'll mount my two ions up here, and then since they have these long leads anyways, they're gonna come up and essentially plug in. I'm gonna put the plug, kind of like where I've kind of got these here. And this is the turbine battery, and I got the gyro kind of sitting in here, so it's going to be about right here. And then I'll probably move this forward just a hair, and then I'll just mount this battery straight to the top of that, so they'll plug in, right there. And then, like I said, the two ions are up here in the removable nose. So if I ever need to, get to them, I can pop the nose off, take them out. But with these long ass leads that the battery has on them already, I can charge and balance from that. And so that's kind of what we're looking at. And I'm always second guessing my measurements, so I triple, quadruple check. The thing about this one that always gets me is there's no way. So what you do is you put the leading edge slider there, which is that guy, and you push it up to the root of the wing. And I know based on the manual that the CG is 305 millimeters aft of the leading edge root. So you put that there, and then you just take a ruler, which they provide in the kit for the RC CG machine. Go 305 from the front of this back to the front of that, and you read, and it was like 93, so 93 millimeters. I always have to add a 0 to it because up there it's 9. Right here it's like 85, which is really 850. So you take the measurement from main to center, which is the 854. I don't think I did that right. Yeah, 854. Sorry, I always take my guess. And then you do mains to where your weight is, really, which isn't crucial. So I kind of picked 1350, which is about right here. And then your third one that's really important is from mains to CG, which was 93 millimeters. And you put that in, and that's what you get. And then weight-wise, let's see, put this guy on here just to kind of give a weight estimate. And you're looking at $35.70 with a little bit for that extra weight of the fuel and whatever I gotta, you know, I should be able to get the CG because I can move these batteries even further forward. So with the fuel weight, because the UAT, the main tank, are ahead of the CG, and then when moving this, I shouldn't have to add any weight. So that should cover it. So we're looking at roughly takeoff, or basically landing weight would be probably, just say 36 pounds, or a little over 36 pounds, like 36.1, 36.2 pounds. And I won't know, I gotta see what the fuel hold of that tank holds. I didn't check it, but maybe he's got it written on there. I can ask the designer. So if anybody's got the measurements, if they've got one of these and they've actually measured it. So this is my measurements, and it's kind of hard to see there. So distance from mains to front, 854 millimeters. Distance from mains to CG, which is 93. And then distance from mains, which is basically saying where you're gonna add the weight. Like it says there, distance from mains to weight placement. So negative aft mains weight. So that was not as crucial, I've been told. So that's what I got. So if you've got one of these, let me know what your measurements are. Because like I said, I never trust myself, even though they're always right. But that's where I'm at. So today is what, Wednesday night? I'm gonna call it. So tomorrow's Thursday. And I kind of need to mow one more time. But it just depends on how I feel. But tomorrow night, I'm gonna try to get out here and I will do the leads for the batteries, finish up all the battery connections. And then once that's done, you know, hard mount batteries, CG it, final CG it. And then at that point, it's a setup part where I just power everything up and start setting up everything. So should have no problem getting it done this weekend. I am going to load this weekend as well for the Georgia Jets. And this will actually be one of the last ones to go in because it's going to sit on my aft rail, aft table. Although no, it's going to go on the aft side. So it'll be the last thing to put in. But that's it for the night. And sorry, I'm not using the GoPro the last couple videos. I'm just using my phone, which is almost as damn good, as near good as the, I can't talk, almost as good as the GoPro. So, but yeah. And I've done a review on this guy before, the RC CG machine. Makes this kind of stuff, especially these big jets like that. You can't do that or that. Heck, even doing those, you know, I think the only one of those I could actually do by hand is the A7. That's our smallest jet these days, so. But anyways, you guys have a good one. Don't forget, I'm selling my F-14. So I'll try to do a little video of that, kind of show it to people. Like I said, it's in videos. I've got videos on my YouTube channel of it. There's been plenty of pictures. It was in AMA magazine as a feature, and it's been around a while. It's a good jet. So if you're interested, like I said, let me know, and don't forget to subscribe. Hit that like button, thumbs up, thumbs down, whatever. If you leave a comment, I always love the comments, and I'll try to answer it and get back to you as soon as I get it. So you guys have a good evening, and cheers.